This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ray Collins. All eyes on the White House for a lunch today with the top man from the Senate. ABC's Janae Norman has this preview.
An internal battle within the Republican Party with influences from outside Washington. As President Trump is making nice with top Republicans, his former chief strategist says he's preparing for war.
And right now, it's a season of war against a GOP establishment.
Steve Bannon has the Senate's top Republican in the crosshairs, saying he'll run primaries against anyone who supports Mitch McConnell. On ABC's This Week, Senator Susan Collins coming to McConnell's defense.
And Mr. Bannon's over-the-top rhetoric is not helpful. Mitch McConnell is the Senate Majority Leader. The president needs him.
The president still looking for major legislative wins before the end of the year, and Congress facing a daunting to-do list with time running out. Before the end of the year, they'll need to tackle tax reform and protections for dreamers. The president wants Congress to strengthen the Iran deal and health care reform, all this as they still need to fund the government and raise the debt ceiling. Meanwhile, there's also the growing threat of North Korea. Despite the president's recent tweets that Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was wasting his time trying to negotiate with Little Rocket Man, on CNN's State of the Union, Tillerson said negotiations are still an option.
The president has also made clear to me that he wants this solved diplomatically. He is not seeking to go to war. Those diplomatic efforts will continue until the first bomb drops.
The president has largely blamed McConnell for not getting an Obamacare repeal and replace bill passed through the Senate, so tensions will likely be high when the two have lunch today, and so are the stakes. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Well, warm today, but John says a change is on the way.
Yes, sir. Got a cold front coming our way. Don't get too excited. It's not going to really drop our temperatures, 10, 15 degrees like some cold fronts will do. Yes. This one is kind of a weak one, but you'll notice the changes that it will bring about, and I think there'll be pleasant changes for most folks. Okay. So that's good news. Casey Key webcam shows a pretty nice start to the morning. We had fairly clear skies around. Now we have pretty blue skies most everywhere. Off in the distance, you could see a few storms that brewed out in the Gulf waters, but other than that, we had a pretty quiet morning here on the Suncoast, not even too much in the way of a fog issue. Now we are starting to see a few scattered showers get a little bit closer to land, especially on the other coast. By the way, over the next several days, the East Coast will be the bullseye for the heavier rainfall totals. I don't think we'll see quite as much here locally, but we'll see some, and we'll have enhanced rainfall chances over the next 24 hours as that front sinks south. I think what we'll see here locally is probably in the late afternoon, a few scattered showers starting to build, and they will continue on into the early evening hours. Satellite view shows blue skies over most of the Suncoast right now. Suncoast living up to its name, sunny out there. And with those daytime high temperatures coming in near the 90 mark, and with fairly light winds across the region, you can pretty much bet that we'll build a sea breeze a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll put the rain chances later in the day at about 30%. And then as we head into the next several days, we'll ride a little rain chance roller coaster, if you will, going up first and then back down again as some drier air moves in thanks to that cold front. We'll talk about that coming up in a few, Ray.
Thank you, John. Police in Bradenton arrested a man and charged him with murder. They were called to a house on 21st Street West about 4 o'clock Sunday morning. There they found the body of a 43-year-old man inside who appeared to have been shot. Detectives later arrested this man, Albert Knowles, and charged him with murder. The victim's name has not yet been released. Services will be planned for one of the top firemen in Sarasota County. Battalion Chief Bill Coker died in a motorcycle accident in South Georgia. Coker had been missing since he left their lake house Wednesday night. This is not the correct video. His body was found Sunday afternoon. Coker was a lifelong Sarasota resident. He worked for the department for 25 years and was set to retire in March. A Hillsborough County couple from Brandon died after their motorcycle crashed into a car. It happened in Newport Richey. FHP says the motorcyclist didn't see a bend in the road and hit a car at a stop sign. This is file video. They weren't wearing helmets at the time. The driver of the car was seriously injured. Other news now, police in Sarasota say someone stole an $8,000 racing bicycle from a para-triathlete who was here for a competition. The racer is visually impaired and uses a guide. This is a picture of a similar tandem Cannondale racing bike that was stored in his hotel room. It happened at the Quality Inn last weekend on the North Trail. If you have any leads, call investigator Jerry Birdwell at 954-7070. 7 people injured, 1 still missing after an oil rig exploded overnight in Louisiana. The rig went up in flames and turned into a fireball about 7 o'clock last night. The entire platform was on fire in minutes, and there's a possibility that oil could be leaking into a nearby lake.
We were just sitting in my house, and the whole entire house shook. Things fell off tables. It sounded like a bomb dropping, basically.
So our first objective from the firefighting standpoint is we're trying to stop the oil flow if there's any, and at that point we're going to have to cool it and let it burn off.
Police believe the fire was caused by cleaning chemicals on the surface of the platform that then caught fire. A Las Vegas museum says it will preserve the memorials and tributes set up after this month's deadly mass shooting out there. Family, friends, and passers-by contributed to the growing memorial over the past couple of weeks. It has been growing daily as people bring messages of love to those lost, a message that a county commissioner says he wants to keep forever.
The things I remember are the response of the police and the fire and just average citizens as they responded to the needs of others. I mean, there are so many incredible stories. That's what overtakes you when you begin to think about that crisis. And I think already that's overtaken people.
Commissioner Gibson says the county will eventually take every piece they can keep and place it in the Clark County Museum. And just last night, 2,000 people walked down the strip to honor those killed in that mass shooting. The marchers walked nearly 4 miles to a parking lot across from the Mandalay Bay Hotel where a candlelight vigil then took place. 58 people were killed, more than 500 injured in the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. The online shoe retailer Zappos is offering to pay for the funeral costs of those who died in that Las Vegas massacre. Zappos says it'll work directly with the victims' families who need help. A company rep says that includes everything from burial costs to flower arrangements and transportation. Zappos has also started a separate online fund to help victims. The Nevada-based retailer says it's pledging to match up to $1 million in donations. At last check, the fund had brought in some $400,000. Still to come, new studies reveal good news for coffee drinkers. Why a few cups a day could actually mean a longer life. And obesity is a problem that keeps on growing and growing. Possible solutions on the way. Stay with us.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're going to hear some noise around this afternoon, no doubt about it, in the form of a few thunderstorms, I suspect. We have a pretty good chance of that today, even better chance tomorrow. A little bit of sunshine mixed with a few fair weather clouds, but not many of them. 74-degree dew point value, 86 degrees air temperature. We are on our way to another very warm day. Yesterday we hit 91. Again, we're on a string of well above average temperature days. Now, we do have this cold front coming through. It's not going to really knock down our temperatures all that much, but it will lower our dew points. And if we lower our dew points, we can lower our nighttime temperatures. And if we lower our nighttime temperatures, we may be able to shave a degree or two off our daytime highs. And I think that's where we're headed. East-southeast wind coming in pretty lightly at about 3 right now. Nice light wind. That'll allow for our sea breeze to build in the afternoon. And working on that 74-degree dew point with all the heat around, I think we'll easily see a few scattered showers. 84 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch. 82 degrees at Longboat Key. 84 degrees in Northport. 84 in Inglewood. 85 in Venice. Not much action across the state of Florida except for the East Coast, seeing a few showers beginning to build. We've had a few showers out in Gulf waters, but not a lot. And we have an approaching cold front producing some rain showers out in the central Gulf right now. That kind of convergence of moisture producing those showers will gradually be approaching our area over the next 12 to 24 hours, enhancing our rainfall chances a bit, especially as we move into tomorrow. Nothing ongoing across the region currently, but if you look at this line of showers, it's clear something is going on, and that something is the cold front. Back behind it, a lot of tame weather. There won't be much weather across much of the nation over the course of the next several days once this front scoots southward. Now, what will happen will be that as this front approaches us, it kind of runs out of steam. So it stalls in our neighborhood, either in central Florida or perhaps even south central Florida. And it'll be kind of a focal point for moisture accumulation and shower and even a few thunderstorms across the region until this front eventually just washes away and high pressure builds in from the north. You'll also notice a little area out to the west here that I've outlined with that sort of trough. There is a little spot out there in the Atlantic that has potential for development. We'll talk about that today as well. Showers for a few days, a good chance of showers, especially tomorrow. Now, not all day rain showers, but on and off showers in the afternoon are certainly possible. Warm temperatures, well above average, and then lower humidity working its way in later this week. I think one of the most noticeable things will be an uptick in our wind speeds, and that's going to last for a while. Watch, we'll put the computer model into motion here and take it through a couple of days out, and you can see the area of red here, especially out in Gulf waters, indicates higher wind speeds. It's not going to be great boating weather for the second half of this week. Even starting tomorrow, the wind speeds are going to be picking up, and I think we can see some 20-mile-an-hour winds around here over the course of the next few days. So your forecast looks like this: a wind developing out of the west in the afternoon with a sea breeze at about 10 knots. Rain chance today at about 30% or so. Tomorrow about 50%. And then as we head into the next several days, slowly but surely, some drier air will filter in. That'll lower our temperatures just a little bit. And we may even see some nighttime temperatures in the upper 60s later this week. So some improved weather, I would say, for this time of year coming our way by week's end. Right?
All right, thank you, John. Health Smart now. Good news about the health benefits of coffee. According to some Spanish researchers, higher coffee consumption is associated with lower risk of death. Scientists studied food questionnaires from more than 19,000 respondents and tracked them for 10 years. Results show those who drank at least 4 cups of coffee each day had a 64% lower risk of death than those who never drank coffee. And some doctors agree that coffee can be a part of a healthy diet and lifestyle.
Is that your risk, your health risk, may be reduced by the amount of caffeine that you take in on a daily basis. Do it with caution, talk to your doctor, but enjoy that cup of coffee.
Experts say the best way to drink coffee is black, and to be aware that adding cream and sugar can add calories. Now, other experts say caffeine is never good for your system. Interesting story here. A 2-year-old Georgia boy needs an organ transplant, and even though his father is a match, doctors will not do the operation just yet. A.J. Burgess was born prematurely without a working kidney. His father was tested and proved to be the perfect match to give his son a kidney, but he was in prison for violating his probation on weapons charges.
The lady was like, we need your parole information and your probation information. And he was like, what does that have to do with anything? And she was like, well, we need you to be on good behavior for 3 to 4 months before you can give your son a kidney. And in January 2018, we'll think about reevaluating you, basically.
Well, he couldn't do it. AJ's father was set to do the transplant earlier this month and was released from jail to do so, but he violated his probation during that time. Now the Burgess family is waiting for the hospital to change their minds. They began a petition to urge the hospital to allow the surgery. A new CDC report reveals that despite decades of attempts to curb it, the rate of obesity among Americans continues to grow. ABC's Lana Zek has more on the risk factors and possible solutions.
Obesity is a risk factor for many cancers, for heart disease, the #1 cause of death in America. And yet the rate of obesity in this country continues to climb, according to a new CDC report. Health officials say that 4 in 10 American adults are now obese, up from 3 in 10 in 1999. This epidemic of obesity is even affecting our children. Over 18% are obese, a jump from less than 14% about 2 decades ago. Some groups are less likely to be affected, but others are disproportionately at risk. More than half of black women are now considered obese. A slew of programs aim to solve this population-level problem, but our own health is mostly up to us on this topic. Doctors say one way you can decrease your chance of cancer, prevent a stroke or heart attack is to get to a healthy weight and stay there. Talk to your doctor if you need help. They say it's not about how you look in a swimsuit. The point is, everybody looks bad in a hospital gown. With this Medical Minute, I'm Lana Zak, ABC News.
And on that note, time for lunch. Let's head to the kitchen and say hello to Chef Judy. Hi there.
Hi there, Ray. Well, all week long, we're going to be celebrating some different recipes from our favorite cookbooks. I'll be back on Wednesday on the Suncoast View with several different foodies in our community, and they'll be sharing a recipe from their favorite cookbook. Ruth Reichel, who I love, was the editor of Gourmet Magazine. This is a great cookbook, and her recipe that she has for rice pudding is amazing, but I have to warn you, it's going to take a lot of pots and a lot of steps. But I love rice pudding, and I find this one really special. So stay with me throughout the hour. We're going to make a delicious jasmine rice pudding. I'm going to bring it up a notch with a little jarred pecan bourbon topping, and I think you're just going to love it for the fall flavor.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The star of a popular HGTV show won't have many fans in one Minnesota neighborhood. Residents say she blew off a promise to restore a home. And now, as reporter Reg Chapman tells us, the whole thing may wind up in court.
The house at 1522 Hillside Avenue North has been vacant for close to 10 years. 4 years ago, the city of Minneapolis sold the house to HGTV star Nicole Curtis. Her reality show features her buying and restoring homes that are dilapidated.
1522 is a house that Nicole Curtis bought in 2013 for $2 from the city of Minneapolis.
The house sits in Minneapolis City Councilman Blong Yang's Ward 5. Yang says Curtis failed to restore the broken down property, forcing the city to sue her.
Agreement basically says that she has an allotted amount of time, 6 months, to get this done. She needed to put in $150,000 of construction costs, and she needed to sign a quitclaim deed to us so that if she didn't perform, we would take the house.
That deadline is today, October 15th, but according to Yang, it's a soft deadline. He says according to the agreement, Curtis has a 60-day cure period, so the city can't act until
December 15th, in terms of us basically being able to record that quitclaim and taking the house.
We had hope, but then we've continued to be let down.
Amy Lungberg says neighbors are furious that nothing has been done to restore the home.
This property has continuously been a thorn. It's a danger, it's a hazard to the kids in the neighborhood. It continues to just be an eyesore.
If Curtis continues to do nothing, Yang says he has hope someone else can come along and make this blight right.
We would basically market it through our vacant housing recycling program and allow for anybody to, take a stab at it.
Neighbors say they want Curtis to take responsibility for not keeping her promise to North Minneapolis.
And I just really, at this point, want her to be honest with the lack of her commitment to us and to community and what she said she was going to do and just has not done.
Well, Curtis purchased the house back in 2012 from the city for $2 under the condition that she would remodel the house. Stay tuned. All right, let's get cooking now. Let's go back to Chef Judy.
So the first thing you want to do when you're making rice pudding, I'm using the jasmine rice. Basmati rice works really well. You need to rinse it. It's going to take about 3 times. I put in cold water and just swish it with your hands like this. And then you'll see how the starch comes up the top, so you'll just go ahead and drain that out, and then you're going to do it again until the rice comes out clean or very close to clean, while it's still coming cloudy, you're going to have to keep doing this to rinse it through. But it's really worth it. You get out that extra starch from the rice now, and what will happen is it'll make for a creamier pudding. So after it's completely comes out the water clear, then you can go ahead and cook the rice for 10 minutes. Put it in boiling water, cover it, simmer it. Now the next step, which I already started, I'm going to add a quart of milk into the rice that was already cooked, separate pot. I put in a cinnamon stick. So that's going to start cooking together. We're going to simmer this, bring it to a boil, then simmer it for about 25 minutes. We're also going to add sugar, okay? So we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Don't go over a cup, it'll be too sweet, because the rice really absorbs all those great flavors, right? So, okay, we're gonna bring that up to a boil. Now over in this pot, we're gonna rehydrate some raisins. So, and you can use currants if you want as well. You know, I didn't know my other grandmother too well, but I do remember that she did make a good rice pudding, and she used golden raisins. So it's honestly whatever you prefer. A lot of people make a rice pudding, they make the whole custard, and they'll put it in a water bath. This has a lot of steps to it, but you don't need a water bath. And if you're just patient enough, you'll be able to get everything together. So I'm going to rehydrate those raisins for about a total of 10 minutes. I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. I'm going to keep simmering this down. When you come back, we'll add the egg yolks and the cream and start to incorporate that in the pudding, and it's going to be so delicious. Wait till you see what we go on top with. We'll be back to continue this delicious rice pudding recipe.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. A new cautious optimism from fire officials in Northern California now that winds are dying down there. Evacuations are down from 100,000 to 75,000 today. The fires have devastated much of wine country and other areas in Northern California. Flames have destroyed more than 5,700 homes and other buildings and also killed at least 40 people. And there is fear the death toll could climb as searchers start to dig through the ruins. ABC's Maggie Rowley has the latest now from Santa Rosa.
Today, a turning point as we enter day 9 of the deadliest wildfire disaster in California history. Firefighters throwing everything they've got at these fast-moving flames seem to have finally gained the upper hand.
Overall, things are feeling optimistic for us.
But officials say we are not out of the woods yet. Firefighters are still working around the clock, some sleeping in these two-person tents. And while they say full containment is still weeks away, they've started lifting evacuation orders.
Thousands are now able to return to their homes here in Northern California, but for so many, this is the devastation that they'll find.
Honestly, I drove right by my street because I didn't recognize where I was.
This was Ryan Nelson's neighborhood on Sunday night. As the home he shared with his wife was reduced to ashes, he got to work. With a team of volunteers, he began building these sifters.
We couldn't even make them fast enough.
Helping people who lost everything find one little glimmer of hope.
I was at my house and I found a little rock that we had collected on a hike.
Ryan says this is just the start, and together his community will build back.
Everyone here is builders. That's what we do. So day one, basically, start building.
The air in this part of Sonoma is still thick with smoke, and firefighters are battling an active wildfire just up that hill. But in a bit of good news, the weather is finally expected to turn, and we should be getting some rain here later this week. Maggie Rowley, ABC News, Santa Rosa, California.
Hurricane Irma has come and gone, but thousands of people still waiting for relief in Florida. In fact, in South Florida, one of those relief events has been canceled after police say scuffles broke out and people fainted from the long lines. The state food program gives food vouchers to families affected by power outages from Irma. The vouchers can be used at supermarkets there.
The line is officially closed. It's time to get in your vehicles and start heading home.
We lost a lot during the hurricane because we are a big family. So we were without light for almost 12 days. So all our food completely got ruined.
The Department of Children and Families says more than 1 million people applied for the program statewide. The agency says it may schedule a makeup day later on this month. Florida communities making repairs after Irma may expect the government to reimburse their cost, but an analysis by the Associated Press shows that FEMA may take years to pay bills, if it pays at all. Dozens of requests for reimbursement from FEMA are still pending, including at least 3 cases in Florida from over a decade ago. Some examples are a school district and a nonprofit organization in Pensacola that still have multiple projects pending after Hurricane Ivan back in 2004. Red Cross workers are available to meet with Sarasota and Manatee County residents affected by Irma to help with recovery planning, resource referrals, and limited financial assistance for those who qualify. You can go to the Red Cross of Southwest Florida on 2001 Cantu Court starting tomorrow through Friday. People are asked to register in person with proof of residence and also a photo ID. An update now on storm recovery in the wake of Maria last month in Puerto Rico. Residents are getting desperate. In fact, so desperate they might be risking their health by drinking tainted water. Despite the warnings from police officers and the danger sign on the chain link fence, residents of the town of Dorado keep tapping into this water faucet, but a few of them know the well sits in an area designated by the EPA as a Superfund site, along with 6 other wells that residents keep on tapping into.
Obviously, if it's non-drinking water, we're not going to be serving it. But if it complies with the Clean Water Act, then it is going to happen.
We're not saying that somebody is at immediate danger by drinking this water. We are considering it a long-term risk.
An Environmental Protection Agency team spent the weekend gathering water samples for further testing. The EPA says they're looking for signs of industrial toxins, often linked to serious health problems, including cancer. And EPA documents show that as late as last year, dangerous levels of those industrial toxins were found in the ground. So many ancillary issues from that hurricane on Puerto Rico.
Oh, desperate people do desperate things.
Right. It continues.
And Ophelia, now a post-tropical storm with some hurricane gusts still have killed 2 people in Ireland, indirectly. One of them died when a tree fell on the car, and another one in a chainsaw accident trying to remove debris after it passed by. So a pretty unusual event for Ireland. Hasn't happened in decades, but they're getting hammered. There'll be a lot of trees down. Power outages to about 1/3 of a million people, so it's significant there as well.
Amazing weather the past few months.
It's been an amazing hurricane season. Yeah, it has. Very active. We have pretty quiet conditions around here right now, though. Van Wezel webcam put into motion shows some pretty tranquil conditions. One of the things that we've had is some very warm water temperatures, and I suspect we'll see those water temperatures dropping over the next several days as we develop a pretty strong easterly wind. Right now, Titan radar pretty quiet, but we are getting some showers over on the other coast, and that's where the majority of the rain will be falling over the next several days because of that strong easterly wind, kind of slinging rain showers back toward the coast. Everything quiet across our region right now. Plenty of sunshine out there. Not really an issue for anyone at this hour, but I think later on, around the drive time home this evening, we'll start to see a few of those storms around. Daytime high temperatures will again be warm. Yesterday we hit 91. I think we'll probably get pretty close to the 90-degree mark again today, and there will be some scattered showers today, but even a better chance tomorrow, I think, because of a cold front. And we'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. An investigation is underway after an 8-year-old girl fell to her death over the weekend on a cruise ship docked in Miami. The Carnival Cruise Line's ship Glory was docked Saturday morning when the girl fell in an interior atrium on the boat. They believe she fell about 25 to 50 feet. She was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. The cruise ship has already resumed normal operations. An investigation is also underway in Orlando after an 18-month-old was found dead inside a house early Sunday morning. Police are calling the death suspicious. The mother lives there with a male roommate. The roommate called 911. The Orange County Sheriff's Office is not saying much right now.
The team is here to make sure that whatever happened to this child, if something happened that's suspicious, that whoever did this will pay.
The baby's father lives in Georgia. The baby only began staying with his mother a week ago. The mother was taken for a mental health evaluation. An autopsy is taking place today. A Gainesville brewery tried to upend a white nationalist event by offering free beer to any students who turned in tickets. They wanted to make sure the seats were empty. The stunt didn't work. The Miami Herald reports that Richard Spencer's group plans to give out all the tickets to their event on the campus, not through the university. The brewery wanted to collect as many tickets as possible so seats would be empty for Spencer's event this Thursday. The university said it's not affiliated with the event in any way, but that it is still legally obligated to allow the expression of many viewpoints by external groups. That's taking place on Thursday. Back to lunch now. Once again, here's Chef Judy.
Okay, so we have the rice that's been simmering in a quart of whole milk, and make sure it's whole milk. I have the cinnamon stick in there. Now, to 4 egg yolks, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. The other part, the next half of the container of the whipping cream is actually going to be slightly whipped, and we're going to use that as well, not just as a topping, it's going to be baked in. So we're going to bring this together, and then we're going to add just a pinch of cardamom, that's my own touch, along with a little more cinnamon. We have some cinnamon that's cooking along with this beautiful basmati rice, and now we're going to add that. We're going to add the raisins. Into the raisins, I added the zest of 1 lemon as well. That's going to give it a really nice balance of flavor. So what you want to do so you don't cook the egg yolks, this is the part where you really have to be a little careful. So I'm going to take a ladle, and we're going to just put in about 2 smaller ladles of the hot rice mixture. You want the rice to cook down so it almost looks like a porridge when it's done. So now I can tell that we're tempering the egg yolks. I told you it was going to take a lot of bowls, but it's so good doing it this way. Now we're going to add this all back in, okay? Give that a good stir and get that balance right there. But do remember, take your time to temper those yolks. This rice pudding is very similar to what you'll find at Greek restaurants in that it's much more creamy than thick. But I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can make it if you prefer it to be a little more stiff. So you can bake that just in a regular pan like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of that in there. I'm going to get some more rice. Whoop. So let's take that cinnamon stick out now. We're going to get some of that heavier rice that we're going to put in there. Oh, this is so good. We're going to top it with a little more cinnamon and then wait for it. That slightly whipped cream is going to go right on top, and it's going to bake like this for 8 to 10 minutes. And when it comes out, it's going to be ready to feed to John Scalzi and just feel all that goodness. And we'll top it with a few surprises. I'll be back in a few minutes for a taste.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
86-degree air temperature, lots of sunshine out there. We have a dew point value still high at 74. I'd like to see that dew point value drop down into the 60s to make it feel pretty comfortable out there, at least the 60s. I mean, I'd love for it to be in the 50s, but we're another month away from that. I think we'll probably get it down into the upper 60s before we hit midweek, which will be kind of nice. I think it'll feel great. So the winds are pretty light right now. That'll allow for the sea breeze to build, keeping the coastline a little bit cooler, but no reason to think we won't get up near the 90-degree mark most everywhere today. 86 in Wauchula, 87 Arcadia, Mayaca, 86, 85 Parrish, 86 in Bradenton and Sarasota, and Venice at 84, Northport at 87. A couple of showers developing over on the other coast. Now you can see the effect of that general easterly wind flow. Those winds will be picking up with time as a frontal boundary, now located to the north of us, sinks a little bit further to the south. That front right now extends all the way from just about Brownsville, Texas, all the way up through the deep south and up the northeastern coastline. Majority of the country, though, is very quiet. It's very quiet because of this big sprawling area of high pressure back behind this frontal boundary. And that's the area of high pressure that will eventually feed that drier, low humidity air into our region. We'll get a little bit of the cooler air, but not a lot of it, because this front is going to run out of steam as it moves over us and basically stall out. It'll eventually wash away as that high pressure ridge then takes over and drives our weather for the remainder of the week with that cooler air sinking southward. Shower chances for a few days this week, followed by, well, accompanied by some warmer temperatures, and then followed by some lower humidity as we head into the later half of this work week. Now, this is a map that shows you where the moisture is available to produce rain showers, and here redder is better or yellow is wetter. And in this case, you can watch this humid air kind of sinking southward along with the cold front. Cold front stalls out, and we're left with good chances of rainfall tomorrow. Then, with time, the front kind of washes away and high pressure builds in, and we get a little of that drier air sinking southward, killing our rain chances and bringing us some slightly cooler nighttime lows and some pleasant daytime highs. I think you'll like it. This is the future rainfall forecast. You'll see the effect of that front sinking south in the form of a little more shower activity around here. You'll also notice a little feature out in the Atlantic waters moving northward with a spin. That's a possible area of developing tropical activity, but of no threat to the state of Florida. We get these showers that last for a couple of days, and then as we head into Wednesday or Thursday, we start to really see those rain chances go down and some of that drier air to the north filter in. By far, the East Coast sees the best chances of rain with time. Rainfall Futurecast has a bullseye of 4 inches perhaps over on the other coast south of Jacksonville. And in case you're wondering, the state's fire danger index, great. Doesn't get much better than that. It's very low across the entire state, and this rainfall will just help us further. And by the way, that cluster of showers that I pointed out in the Rainfall Futurecast will be lifting northward, even though the Hurricane Center does give it a 40% chance of showers, a chance of development. It's of no threat to the state of Florida. Watch for that west wind to develop this afternoon. It's going to get much breezier, though, over the next several days as that front sinks south. And then as we head into the weekend, things clear out and become kind of comfortable. Ray?
All right, thank you, John. Today is the last day to file for a tax extension this year. Millions of Americans have already filed for a 6-month extension on their 2016 federal returns. If you still don't file and you owe IRS money, you'll face a late filing penalty up to 25% of the tax you owe per month. If you don't owe, there's no penalty, but don't expect refund checks to arrive anytime soon. Twitter is giving the names of Russian-linked accounts to investigators. This after announcing last month it had removed around 200 accounts linked to Russia that seemed to have interfered in American politics. The Twitter accounts reportedly highlighted hot-button issues like immigration. Some of the tweets promoted stories that cast Hillary Clinton in a negative light. The names were given to staff of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and now they're also asking for the posts those accounts were made from. The U.S. Supreme Court will take up a case on whether tech companies can be forced to turn over emails that are stored overseas. At issue is a federal appeals court ruling that denied federal investigators access to emails stored on Microsoft computers in Ireland. Investigators wanted to look at the emails as part of a probe in drug trafficking. The appeals court ruled that current U.S. law does not give judges the right to issue search warrants that reach outside this country. But the Department of Justice says the ruling has severely restricted law enforcement's ability to obtain digital evidence stored on foreign computers. You think tree houses are just for kids? Well, tell that to Microsoft. This tree house serves as a meeting room for Microsoft employees at the company's headquarters in Redmond, Washington. It's one of 3 that Microsoft uses as meeting spaces. The tree houses are, of course, Wi-Fi enabled and have benches with electricity plugs. Microsoft says that its employees were pushing for some kind of outdoor workspace, adding that exposure to the outdoors can relieve stress and also encourage creativity, making meetings a little more fun. Well, we all need a little extra cash. In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney has apps you can download right now that may add to your bank account.
If you consider budget a bad word, download Level. The app syncs with your checking account and knows what you've spent and how much cash you have left. Then looking at your spending habits gives you an estimate on how much money you could spend over a week or a month. Digit helps you save money without the hassle. The app looks at your spending and tucks away money into a savings account automatically, but only if you can afford it. Unsplurge is also in the savings game. It offers tips and challenges to get you to put away more money. Plus, you could upload a picture of what you're saving for, along with an amount, and Unsplurge will give you updates until you reach that goal. Best part about all these apps? They're free. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Good tips still to come. A wide range of reaction and fallout to the Harvey Weinstein allegations. And he asked and she said yes. The latest celebrity couple to walk down the aisle coming up.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
What do you think, John?
I am so serious. You have got to get this recipe. That's the best rice pudding I've ever had. It's great. So
great.
good.
So I put in a few of my own touches, but clearly, you know, she has the base of it. So beautiful. Using basmati rice, I added the crystallized ginger. You can just get it in most stores like Fresh Market. And I added just a teeny spoonful of that bourbon caramel pecan sauce. bring it up a
Nice
notch.
touch.
And just a burnt butter cookie, they call it. You know, you can buy those pre-made, and it just adds for a dinner party. This is the type of thing where you focus on the dessert and you make a simple, you could be having cheeseburgers for dinner, but you have the rice pudding as the main star of the meal.
It's absolutely awesome. You've got to get the recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there with Chef Judy's instructions, video instructions, and the recipe as well, including her excellent additional touches to this dish.
Thank you, sir.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ray.
All right, you two. Smells great. Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner and singer Joe Jonas are engaged. The stars made their announcement on social media yesterday. They've been together for a year. He's 28, she's 21. She posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "I said yes." The latest celebrity speaking out against Harvey Weinstein, but taking a different approach, is Alyssa Milano. She's getting thousands of responses on Twitter to her request that people reply to her on the social network with "Me Too" if they've ever been sexually harassed or assaulted. Milano says on her Twitter account that she got the idea from a friend who said a tweet like that might give people a sense of the magnitude of the problem. Oprah Winfrey chiming in on the Harvey Weinstein scandal, calling Weinstein's behavior hideous. And she agrees with others who also blame enablers in Hollywood. She took to Facebook to say she hasn't been able to find the words to articulate the magnitude of the situation. She added, "I believe a shift is coming." Also last night, sportscaster Al Michaels apologized after he said on the air the New York Giants have had a worse week than Harvey Weinstein. Kerplunk. He came back from the break and apologized for that.
Yeah, he certainly should have.
Yes.
So, you want to, I don't know, how long this has been going around and why hasn't it surfaced beforehand, you know?
I think it might be changing now. So we'll see how the mood changes, yeah.
Hope so.
Certainly hope so.
Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast.